Everybody, I'm joined now by actor Tank Jones. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and it's a big day for you. Your movie comes out, Union Bound, out today.
Yes, sir. Union Bound. Coming out today. We had the LA premiere on Wednesday, and it went extremely well. Movie well received. Performances well received. I'm happy. You guys here in town or wherever you're at watching this from, make sure you go see it. Go to unionboundthemovie.com to check out where it's playing near you. But yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Nice. And tell me about it, because what's it like on the day of the movie? Is it kind of like a nervous feeling? You don't know how it's going to go as far as
This morning, actually, so the nerves came 2 days ago when
Okay.
I was doing the LA premiere. And for those of you that know me, I never get nervous. But I was on my way to the Academy because that's where they had the premiere. And I had actually put a video together telling people I'm nervous. It's the most liked, the most shared, because people don't see me like
Sure,
that. It's
sure.
Okay, wow. So it's the most liked, the most shared video I've ever put on Facebook. Today, I'm hanging out with my kids. I'm just
Nice.
having a good time. And then my publicist called me and say, "Hey, you need to get down to Fox." And
That's
I
awesome.
said, "Okay. Can I go get my hair cut first, please?"
Yeah.
Shout out to Trayvon Darby. Thank you for hooking
There
me
you
up.
go.
Okay. All right.
And now this is like so it's obviously a Civil War movie, and it's kind of an amazing premise because it's from the diaries of this Union soldier.
Yep, his name was Joseph Hoover. Joseph Hoover was actually a real Union soldier. He fought in the Battle of the Wilderness. He got captured by the Confederacy and shipped down to Andersonville Prison, where they shipped him up north into the Carolinas. He escaped with a friend of his named Tom, and they were in the Deep South and stumbled from plantation to plantation, and they stumbled across one where my character, Jim Young, who was a real person, by the way.
Wow.
And they're trying to help picture this, two white guys in the South, Deep South, and they've broken free from their chains. Now they come as slaves who are considered property at the time, and they're in chains.
Wow.
Help us get free.
Yeah,
To go back
sure.
up north. Have you ever heard of a story like that
No,
in history class?
no.
Me neither.
Yeah.
So just for that premise, that's why I say you should go check it out. I think this film, as the more traction it gets, you'll be seeing this in history classes coming up. in the next
Wow.
couple
Yeah. I mean,
years.
when I saw the synopsis, I was like, wow, this is amazing, kind of a premise.
Yeah, my friend Harvey, he directed it. He showed me the script. I said the same thing you did. I
Yeah.
said, that's an interesting take on the Civil War.
Sure.
He said, it's not a take, it's real life.
Yeah.
So I had to be a part of this project.
Awesome. And where'd you guys film it? And
We shot it in North Carolina. So I went out, I did a lot of research on this role, wanted to make sure I was authentic as possible.
Sure.
I didn't want to play another caricature of a slave. I wanted to make sure Jim had heart and he was a real person. So when I went down to the Carolinas, never been to a plantation before, and I was there, and for about 20 minutes, I couldn't move. I mean, because
Wow.
the Carolinas are the epicenter of the slave trade here in the U.S.
yeah.
And I'm saying some of my ancestors probably passed through here. I got a chance to see the quarters. I got a chance to see some of the tools that they used, and it blew me away. I couldn't move.
Wow.
Segue, later on that night, I ran into Pam J, wonderful lady. She's his great-great-granddaughter.
No.
She hugged me like I was the real Jim Young, man. And she said, and she almost had tears in her eyes. She said, "Thank you, because if not for you," meaning my character Jim, but she treated me like him,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be here.
Oh
I
my
said,
gosh.
"Thank you, Pam," as if I didn't have enough pressure, to deliver. But yeah, it was mind-blowing. We shot for 6 weeks. We dealt with all kinds of conditions. We made shirts for the rap party that said, "Do not feed the ticks," because we dealt with ticks, chiggers, mosquitoes,
Oh, wow.
bad inclement weather, everything. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's been so much fun. It's been a great ride. We have a tour.
Okay.
That after the film, it debuts tonight, like I said. But if you go to unionboundthetour.com, we start in Franklin, Tennessee. And it's going to be like a live Broadway play.
Oh wow.
So you come in, you'll see paraphernalia from the Civil War. You'll have stuff from Joseph's actual effects, from his diaries to his medals. I host the thing. Colin Ray will be performing, and in Franklin, Wynonna Judd is going to close the show.
Oh wow.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. Unionboundthetour.com to see where it's coming. I think it's coming to Phoenix. I think Phoenix is the last stop.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
Yeah.
so be sure to check that out. And you've got some Valley ties. You went to ASU?
Went to ASU, Sun Devil, baby.
Nice.
And actually, I stay. Most of the time, I'm here. I
Okay.
do a lot of traveling. I also tomorrow, as a matter of, after the film, see the film first, and then if you're in the Valley, come check to the Scottsdale Laugh Factory because Paul Rodriguez is hosting a TV show that we do. I co-produce a show called a Latin Comedy Jam.
All right.
So Paul, and we've got 4 great comedians that'll be there tomorrow. And yeah, I love Phoenix. This is home.
Yep.
I would rather be here most of the time than I go in other places, but I also have a place in LA too. So
Okay, yeah.
so don't get mad at me, my agent in LA. I'm there too.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah.
And
man.
what are some of your favorite places out here? Maybe to go out to dinner or?
Well, of course, Cheesecake Factory is a chain.
Yeah.
So you got Lolo's out here. You also, I'm a fan of commercials. I would say commercials actually sway me. I'm not mentioning. Let me take that back. I just had to think about this for a second. I'm just getting ready to shout out Dan Sevilla, the owner of Angry Crab Restaurants out here.
Oh, okay.
Because now, as I sat and I was thinking, wait a minute, dude, you know where you go. It's Angry Crab. And they've got 5 locations, and I love Angry Crab. I shot a pilot out here, and
Okay.
Angry Crab helped me do it. And it's not because he helped me do the pilot, because I was already eating the food. That's how I met him. And
Yeah.
Angry Crab, all of you guys, come to Angry Crab. If you come to Phoenix, that's your spot.
There you go. It's
I like Lolo's too, so don't get me wrong. Don't get upset with me, guys. But Angry Crab.
It's
there you
always
go.
nice to have a couple picks in your repertoire, right?
Yeah,
To where to go out and stuff. But
I used to like bamboos when they were here, but now they're all gone.
yeah.
I mean, tick me off. I love Chinese food. And I say, 我会说一点普通话.
Oh.
说得不好. Listen, I can speak Mandarin Chinese, so they call me a black Issac
Okay.
because I'm a black guy who can speak Mandarin Chinese, and I
Yeah.
promote Latin Mexican events.
Yeah.
So a Latin Hispanic, and I'm one of the most popular black guys in the country when it comes to Chinese buffets.
Wow, you
'Cause
nail
I
it.
go talk to
Yeah, you talk to him too.
Yeah, so-
You eat it and you talk to him.
Yeah, man.
And then also tell me, you're also you were in Breaking Bad for an episode. You were Hank's therapist.
It was supposed to be 2 episodes,
Okay.
but it ended up, I was Hank's physical therapist in that. CSI Miami, Rules of Engagement. So I've had a pretty good career going back to 3 Kings. And I'll give a shout out to William Green and also Danny over at Danny's agency.
Yep.
They helped me get those things. And now I'm finally at a point where things are starting to come my way. I'm getting
Nice.
scripts coming my way. I'm slated to shoot 6 more films before the end of this
Wow.
year. I'm doing the tour. After the tour, I shoot a film called Void Finder, then Heat on the Delta.
Busy.
And Reckoning. So I'm just trying to get while the getting is good.
Yeah. and actors want to stay busy. I mean, you want to have that, right? I mean, because I bet there's times you remember when it
man.
wasn't too busy.
You want to talk about that? I mean, I've had moments, and this is just a moment of honesty, where I've been sitting and I've been banging my head against the wall, and I've actually just shed a few tears. Because let me tell you, this is the valley tie to how this film got shot and how I got my part in it. So I have a really good friend. His name is Harvey Lowry. Like I said, he's the one that directed it. And I'm at a point where I'm doing all these different things, but I'm not acting.
Okay.
And I'm going back and forth between LA and here, but there's nothing going on. I happen to be in Phoenix at the time, and I'm telling my good friend, and if you don't know who he is, look him up. You'll see him, Van Helsing, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curious Case of Benjamin Button. The guy is awesome. And he's mentoring me, and he said, I happen to be shooting a film here with Nancy Chris, who is also a producer here. He said, come down. And I came down, and I'm explaining this to him in person. He said, well, 6 weeks from now, I'm shooting a film called Union Bound in the Carolinas, and I want you to read it. I was not the original choice for Jim Young. They were going to cast a guy from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
And when I gave him my notes, I talked to him about it. He said, you know what? I know you. I know that you can pull this off. You got the emotional range. Why don't you play the part?
Wow.
And that was, if he hadn't been here in the valley, and if I hadn't went down, because again, I was feeling down. But I said, this is my boy, and let me go see him. And next thing you know, 2 years later, I'm sitting here with you. I had the premiere out in LA. I've been doing 3 or 4 interviews a day.
Nice.
Things are really starting to pick up, man.
Wow. So you just never know, really. I mean, it
Yeah.
could happen. Wow.
There's
That's amazing.
We were talking about a shooter's touch, shooter's roll,
Yep.
all those things where you take enough shots. That's how you get that shooter's roll.
Definitely.
You got to stay ready and keep practicing. And I had those moments of
Doubt, right?
but they were very brief and fleeting because I know better. I formed an organization called Choices Education
Okay.
Empowerment. We go to elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, speak to kids about creative ways to deal with life issues, peer pressure, bullying, all those things. And I know the right thing to say and the right thing to do. It's just a matter, you feel like you're doing them, but you're not gaining the traction.
Yeah.
But you got to keep pushing. My main people who know me, and I'm not going to preach real quick, but I'm going to say that the main message is you can. UKAN. It starts with you. You have to know who you are, make a plan to get what you want, and keep moving forward with an N, never give up attitude. And if you apply that to school, life, your career, whatever it is, you can achieve success in any area that you put that formula to. I believe that, and I'm living proof of it now.
Nice. That is some great inspiration. So, that is awesome to hear.
Just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. And then lastly, coming up in a little bit, we're going to be seeing this press conference in Minnesota from Prince on the tragedy. What did you think when you heard about that yesterday?
I was meeting a friend of mine, doing another business, another film that we were looking at getting funded that I was asked, because after the premiere, I got offered 4 additional films. And it was really, I was meeting with one of the producers of one of them. And I'm walking by, and I see in the restaurant, it said Prince, music icon, dead at 57. And I said, no freaking way. And I thought it was a very cruel joke, but I thought it was a joke.
Sure.
And I was looking, and I said, oh, man, I'm a Prince fan.
Yeah.
And, I mean, no ifs, ands, buts about it. I go all the way back to Purple Rain and even Controversy before that.
Yeah.
My mom was a big Prince fan. I still remember the poster that she had in her room of Prince. And to see that somebody, I don't know if we'll ever have another talent like that. I mean, Michael and Whitney and Prince is like, man, and we lost a few people.
I know.
Sam Haggerty, I mean, no.
David Bowie?
Yeah, dude. So it was, it touched me. It affected a lot of things yesterday, but it touched me. I had to take a seat there for a minute because he meant a lot to me. He was inspirational to me.
And then when you think about it, I mean, he could play all the instruments too. I mean, this is like
best
talent that you can't get anymore.
And you talk about the talents and all the instruments. I mean, he was one of the best guitar players ever. He doesn't get enough credit for that, but he was also one of the best vocalists. He had a range from falsetto all around to deep baritone. Are you freaking kidding me? And did it easily.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of people that can mess with a guy like that. He marched to the beat of his own drum. He had his own style. I try to emulate my own style. People that see me, I'm always dressed in Asian garb. I had a piece that was specially made for me.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm actually going to wear tonight at the premiere, too. That her name is Ann Wynn. If anybody wants to know, she's at Superstition Springs. She made me a special piece. And I patterned that after the great performers of the 60s and 70s who really were showmen.
Wow.
And that's what I strive to be. And Prince is definitely right here. I mean, the guy came out in booty shorts, with the butt out, and the heels. I don't do the heels, but I do the emperor's robes and everything else, man. So yeah, definitely. He definitely inspired me. So it took me aback.
Wow.
And then I want to celebrate him now.
Yeah, we all got to celebrate him now. Everybody, we're talking to Tank Jones right now, the star of Union Bound. Tell him one more time, why should people go out and see this movie?
So, for the same reason why I was attracted to it. One, it's a true story. And you'll have people out there that say, oh, here we go, another film about the Civil War, and it was 150 years ago, but it was only 150 years ago.
Yeah.
And here's another movie about slavery. I don't want to see that. To all of those people, I'm a very nice guy, but I'm going to politely say, shut up. You cannot hear too much about this part of history. It shapes who we are as a people right now in this nation. We're still dealing with some of the effects of the Civil War right now. And you tell me, if you went to history school and you found out about slaves helping 2 white men on the run to get free to go back up north. That story is, they're not even considered people, but they do the right thing regardless of color. It's about the heart. It's about humanity. And I'm not saying that an independent film with a limited theatrical release can change the world, but hopefully it can at least spark some conversation. So give it the opportunity, come see it, give your own spin, whatever you think about it, tweet it out, Facebook it, good or bad. Let's get some debate going, because when you have people on different sides of the aisle, you have people, I love where we are right now as a society, where people feel free to express themselves And I love the fact that in this country we have a First Amendment. But some people use that to spew such hatred and such venom and such divisiveness.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe the way I believe, I'm going to unfriend you on Facebook. I've known you for 20 years.
Sure.
I didn't know you thought like that, so they unfriend you.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, and there's no growth there.
No.
We should celebrate our differences, not be so divided by it.
Yeah.
So, again, not that a film like this can do all of that, but like you said, at least we can start the conversation.
Absolutely. And well, I wish you a bunch of success on this movie. Thank you so much
Mike.
for coming by.
Appreciate it.
And
man.
the movie is out today, so check those local listings for times and go out and see it.
Yeah, unionboundthemovie.com, and if you're in the area, unionboundthetour.com.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike.